Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is November the 5th, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Today has been good. It's been nice. I would say, given the tenor, the temperature of the day, being it's like an election day in America, it feels like pretty tense, a little anxious a bit, I think, but overall, definitely a good day. Had to be me. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't talking to at least a couple of people about politics, looking out for the I voted stickers and all that. But overall, it really has been a relaxed, chill day. Nothing crazy, at least not to me. Granted, I've said this before, I didn't actually go and vote on the day. I did the absentee ballot thing. It's way easier for me, especially on the major elections. I don't have to really freak out or worry. Also, I know I was like, oh, maybe they got it wrong for my 10-year anniversary. Definitely, I'm just stupid. I just really just lost track of time, and it actually is my 10 year. They're like trying to track me down from my like parking space or whatever, and I'm like, I'll get to it tomorrow. My bad, my bad, my bad. But yeah, so overall, I guess I'm still kind of coming off the glow of that, which is weird. It feels good, but also strange that like a decade has gone by and I've been at the same place. That was kind of tripping me out while I was on the job. But once again, it's good. It's a good kind of dissociation, if you will. So yeah, it's been pretty drama free, and that's nice. I will say, for some strange reason, my stomach kind of hurts. I've noticed like at the gym, I was just kind of like, oh, I don't feel so great, and I wasn't sure if it was just because of just gym stuff, because I haven't really eaten anything different or crazy today. So sometimes it happens. I feel like the need to blog about it. So here we are. But yeah, let's see. We've talked about the day, the happenings there. Food corner. I made a Mexican beef and rice bowl. It was very yummy, as is tradition for me. We did not miss. Let's see, with the right rice in there, tortilla chips, tortillas, had four of them things. So yeah, it was good. It was yummy. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup, and let's try to get into some news. Do 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 do. Oh, okie dokie. Artichoke. All right. Switching it up a bit, and we're going to start with some good news up top. Oh, excuse me. Oh, actually, I do know the thing I was going to mention, since, I did talk about the election, being today. I was hoping that I was going to come with more results, and I don't know. I guess I'm a dumbass. I guess I'm stupid. Um, because I don't know, I'm probably very wrong about this, but it felt like by the end of the night back in 2020, like, yes, things got very contentious, but we had like numbers. We had like a really good idea of like where things were going, who was up, who was down. And maybe this is just me being anxious this year and thinking that it's going to happen sooner than it is, but it's now, like, just now, as a recording, this is around 9 o'clock, where like those kind of numbers are kind of coming in, who's winning what, where, what's going where. I'm keeping it vague right now. I would say Trump is up by a pretty significant margin. Of course, that's just at the moment. I really don't want to get too in the weeds about red mirages and blue shifts and late votes coming in and blah, 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 blah. I really didn't want to do that tonight. I was hoping to really, if I was going to talk about it, actually talk definitive numbers. But I'm not getting my wish. But that's okay. At the same time, we also get to milk this a little bit longer, and I mean, hey, it's all going to be news one way or another. So I really don't mind. And I guess we really are going to stick to this new tradition of just saying, hey, we are going to make a big deal about this, if our guy doesn't win. And you know what I mean? Because I've heard the conversation. Oh, well, Kamala and liberals they're gonna freak out too. It's like, come on, can we just be realistic about this? I don't think you're gonna see a January 6th style situation if Kamala Harris doesn't win. I don't know. Call me wild. Call me crazy, but. No, I think that's definitely coming more from one side than the other. But anyway, let's get to the good news. I'm over here, getting worked up about election stuff. But I really wanted to talk about it. I was really hoping to have something. I guess that was just wishful thinking. But womp womp. From CNN, Boeing workers vote to accept deal in strike. Striking workers at embattled plane maker Boeing voted Monday to accept the company's most recent offer, ending the costliest strike in the United States in more than 25 years. The International Association of Mechanics, or IAM, said rank and file members voted by 59% to approve the deal. IAM members had voted almost unanimously against Boeing's first offer on the eve of the start of the strike, and then 64% voted against the second offer less than 2 weeks ago, extending the strike. Let's see. Sorry, I'm scrolling ahead here. The deal calls for an immediate raise of 13% and raises of 9% for each of the next 2 years, and then another 7% in the fourth and final year of the contract. Taken together, members will receive a pay raise that exceeds 43%. So that's good. It's a good number. I initially heard 38%, but I think it's just certain outlets are calculating it a little bit differently. Workers also get a ratification bonus of $12,000, part of which they can contribute to 401k retirement accounts. But the deal did not restore the traditional pension plan that they had lost in 2014 from their previous labor deal. So that's definitely a dagger. That's definitely still an L, unfortunately. I definitely heard from people who were involved in the strike, just, reading quotes and stuff, saying like, yeah, this isn't the win that we wanted, but, hey, there's always 4 years in the future, and we have a really good deal now. And I heard that was really kind of a big focus, was like, hey, like, union leaders are kind of coming back and telling us, like, look, the deal we said no to, like, the second time was a good deal. And, like, we kind of, we want to get more. We want to get what we're worth. But, like, we also do not want to lose this momentum. You know what I mean? We don't want to wind up not being able to fully capitalize. And I can get that logic. I can understand that. And overall, if this is good for the goose and the gander, everyone's fucking with it, then hell yeah, I'm about it. And I agree with the idea of saying, hey, maybe in the future we can get these pensions back. Because I do think it's fucked up. I do think it's crazy. I mean, granted, I got to be honest with you. Can I tell you the advantages, the pros and cons of having a pension as opposed to a 401k? No, I can't tell you that. But I can tell you my non-unionized ass has a 401k, and that shit already feels dicey as it is with my small meager pay. You kind of just get your fucking penance, and then you go, okay, I hope that's enough to last you for the rest of your life after you leave this company and you're old and brittle and ready to die. Whereas I do feel like and think that a pension is going to provide a little bit more security for you. But once again, I could totally be wrong. This is definitely one of those situations where I'm leaning to the audience and saying, hey, if there's an expert out there, you come into the little chat or you hit me up and you say, hey, I can further illuminate for that for you. And I would love that. And then I could tell the class, that'd be great. Help me, help us. I love that. Don't you love the use of those pronouns there? But yeah, I'm overall happy about it. I think if more is... To me, I'm a simple man. More sounds good, and if the group is saying we are okay with this amount of more, then I'm like, yay, awesome. Clap it up. That's how I feel. Once again, you always want to see the maximum outcome, the best outcome that you can get, but you take any positive growth, right? I mean, that's what I feel I can say. Anyway, let's take things to the Middle East with a focus on Israel today. It's been a few days or so. We haven't really talked much, but some news has kind of come up, at least in terms of shakeups in the political, top brass, whatever. I don't know why I always struggle to come up with the words here, but Netanyahu's administration. There you go. From Reuters. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu fires Defense Minister Gallant. Yoav Gallant, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I didn't say Benjamin Netanyahu's here. Sorry, I'm butchering. Citing lack of trust. Excuse-moi. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu fired Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on Tuesday, saying he had no trust in him over the management of Israel's ongoing military operations as the wars in Gaza and Lebanon grind on. Netanyahu appointed Foreign Minister Israel Katz, a close ally, to succeed Gallant, while Gideon Sa'ar becomes the new foreign minister. Netanyahu's office said in a statement. I would say that this is a shakeup, and I'm sure in the microcosm of things, people are going to want to make hay of it and say, oh, well, here's the difference here, and here's how this is going to affect this, and blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. But I listened to that shit pretty acutely as best I could when this was brought to the fore in this part of the conflict right now, where we're at with everything post October 7th. And it was portrayed to me that it's like you have Benjamin Netanyahu, he's kind of this very slippery, politically heavy guy. And then you have Yoav Gallant, who's more liberal, more Western focused and coded. And he's kind of there to balance Netanyahu. And that's supposed to be kind of the mix of these things in the center left party that has now gone all the way over to the hard right, extreme right, to kind of do things and move. But it's cool presentation. Thank you for the PowerPoint. But then you see what has happened day in and day out, and it's no, dude, it doesn't matter who's in power here. Even if you got the utopian, quote unquote, best solution out of this, where Netanyahu is taken over in some kind of political coup or something, and then Gallant takes over, you're not going to get some kind of different outcome. He's saying the same shit. So it was also portrayed to me, and this has seemingly come true, that sooner or later, Gallant was kind of going to get sussed up in terms of we're going to find a reason, Netanyahu's going to find a reason to just say, I'm taking you out of the party. I don't want you here. You're gone. We're dismissing you. Because they've always kind of been at odds, and it's definitely been, I guess, a little bit more loggerheads lately. I don't know much about Katz or Gideon Sa'ar, but they are all of this, right-wing Likud party. So, anything kind of fucking goes here. We've seen it, we've covered it. We've talked about, as much as we really can, as much as I can try, you know what I mean? So do I think any of this is any kind of positive change? No. So I don't really feel too compelled to get into the weeds about it, really talk too much about it. I'm just leveling with you. I just don't care, because that these guys are just going to keep doing what they're doing. This genocide shit, this ethnic cleansing that they are doing is going to continue. So, I don't care who's at the helm. I really fucking don't. And I think a lot of people feel the exact same way about that shit. So I don't really know what to tell you. I kind of thought, and this is just me, had my tinfoil conspiracy hat on, that maybe this had something or was sparked by the leak that kind of took place, which spurred me to kind of do a little bit more digging into what said leak was, because I was kind of hearing it on news podcasts and not really hearing too much detail, or I was just kind of glazing over it while I was at work. That kind of happens, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is important. This is news I need to listen to. And then I go, okay, yeah. And then I just tune into just throwing boxes and stuff, or I just boom, and that happens. Anyway, let's get out of the mind of Mencia here. From NBC News, arrests, a gag order, and a leak that could have harmed hostage talks. Gaza intel scandal sends shockwaves across Israel. Arrests, classified documents, and suspected leaks that may have harmed efforts to free hostages held by Hamas in order, critics say, to give Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu public cover for failing to agree to a ceasefire deal. Netanyahu was engulfed in scandal Monday over a case involving one of his aides that has sent shockwaves across the country. The firestorm, brought into public view when an Israeli court loosened a gag order Sunday night, has enraged Netanyahu's political opponents and hostages' families. Netanyahu has denied any wrongdoing and distanced himself from the case, but critics have alleged that he put hostages' lives and national security at risk to buttress his hardline position and stalled ceasefire talks by leaking Gaza documents to friendly media outlets. I mean, cool, crazy if true, but like once again, it doesn't matter if that's real or not to me, because they were going to go ahead with this shit no matter what the media said, no matter what the U.S. said. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. So that once again, this conspiracy hat's still on. Maybe he said, okay, I need a pound of flesh to kind of just distract people because I don't want any more heat on this because my aide allegedly whatever did this. Let me just cut Gallant, because that'll make news. That'll be a dust up. Once again, this seemed like a political liability that he was bound to snip off sooner or later for himself. So maybe this was just the time to do it, or he felt that it was just convenient. I don't know, whatever. But once again, they don't need to do any of this political or, subterfuge or whatever. They are just going to go ahead with the fucking plan that they have to just level Gaza, to just take that shit to Lebanon. Like, no one has stopped them. So, I don't think Netanyahu's truly that worried about it. So that's why I'm like, am I just doing pie in the sky shit to just kill time in my fucking head here? You know what I mean? But anyway, I wanted to actually get into some coverage that I had mentioned on the last episode and didn't really flesh out. You know what I mean? These things happen. I just kind of can every once in a while, for the sake of time and seems, just like, hey, I'm gonna pop up this story. It's coming to my head and I don't even know if I'm gonna cover it. And most times I kind of don't. But today we're gonna get into some. Switch it up. Do it better. I don't want to even say do it right. Let's not lie. Anyway, from ABC News. Russia suspected of plot to send incendiary devices on planes, sources say. Actually, let me get some water. I'm quite parched. Okie dokie. Russia schemed to send incendiary devices shipped through a commercial carrier on planes that would potentially end up in the United States, according to sources familiar with the situation. In Poland, 4 people were charged in connection with camouflaged explosives that detonated during land and air transport in the UK in July, according to a statement from the country's prosecutor's office. The group's activities consisted of sabotage and diversion related to sending parcels containing camouflaged explosives and dangerous materials via courier companies to European Union countries and Great Britain, which simultaneously ignited or detonated during land and air transport, the Polish prosecutor's office said in a statement. I'm just going to summarize this. Essentially, they were trying to get these to the United States and Canada. Now, luckily, they were caught. They didn't wind up going off, but the idea that they could have either, made their full destination, actually exploded, or exploded in a malfunction or what have you is pretty scary. That's pretty terrifying, right? So they apprehended some people, and then apparently there was another event, or not an event, but like this ongoing thing that was tied to, here we go. The incident that occurred in England and another incident in Germany are believed to be a part of a wider plot, according to a source familiar with the investigation. So they did apprehend some people, and that's why, they're able to say, hey, we're pointing the finger at Russia here. They're involved. But yeah, I mean, of course, they're kind of like, what? Nah, no way. Come on, we would never do that. But yeah, that's more details there. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I really wanted to cover? Yeah, here we go. The Kremlin on Tuesday dismissed reports about the alleged plot, with spokesperson Dmitry Peskov describing the allegations as incoherent, saying they weren't backed by truthful information, according to Russian news agency Interfax. So there you go. That's what they have to say as a rebuttal. And then our last story is about the Musk sweepstakes, which I probably have a little bit of a corrections that I'll get into. But yeah, let's go ahead and take our last break, and then we'll close it out with some Musk money. I feel like my tummy is getting better. A little bit of an update. Breaking news. All right. From Axios. Musk's lawyer says, oh, what'd he say? What'd you say? Anyway, Musk's lawyer says $1 million winners are spokespeople not chosen by chance. So this is weird. This is a weird way to give the game away for legal reasons, and I don't know. Once again, feels like political subterfuge here. But let's actually dive in. Elon Musk's attorney argued in a Philadelphia courtroom Monday that the tech mogul's $1 million a day sweepstakes winners are not chosen at random, but instead are earning payment for acting as a spokesperson, multiple outlets reported. Musk, one of former President Trump's biggest backers, found himself in hot but murky legal waters over the attention-grabbing giveaway after Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner filed a lawsuit over the contest. But Judge Angelo Foglietta reportedly denied the request. So yeah, I mean, I was surprised to see this, be allowed to continue. It seems very illegal. It feels very illegal. And also I wanted to take this time to really have this thought and start fleshing it out loud, because it's something that has bothered me when I really start to think about Elon Musk, especially as of late. Not that he hasn't been doing this for a very long time to kind of keep buoying his wealth, but the idea that people like Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson and insert conservative here, Steve Bannon with the long hair and the tan, they constantly talk about George Soros and the agents of George Soros and his machinations and all this evil, weird, ill stuff, and the crazy and pretty much anti-Semitic places that these people take the shit. And it's crazy to vilify a guy who's more or less, just from what I've seen, just put money into projects, into, just done the philanthropy shit, which is okay, cool. It's just a rich guy doing rich guy shit, and it's liberal, and essentially because you don't like it, he's a globalist. He's an evil, evil man. But you have Elon Musk, which ever since he's taken over Twitter, YouTube and the iPhone forced you to listen to their fucking weird mid-ass album. He's making you see him all the fucking time. It is annoying to get that motherfucker off your screen. And it's gotten to the point, especially since the election has started and really gone rolling. He's literally just putting his thoughts, and you literally see them in the mid-roll of the feed that you're scrolling through. It's crazy. It's crazy how much I've been almost force fed. You should listen to this Joe Rogan Experience episode with Donald Trump and JD Vance, and then it's oh look, Elon Musk is on there too, and now there's an endorsement from Joe Rogan about it. It's crazy just how scripted and set up this is. But once again, how is this George Soros guy and the types that you don't like, how is he any different than this actual person that Elon Musk is, that you actually see on a day-to-day basis? You can't escape this motherfucker. He's in your news feed. He's in your little feed if you're on X, the everything goddamn app. It's wild to me that it's just not seen in plain as day. Not to mention, this guy is trying to literally get some kind of government position with Trump. It's just crazy. You can call this motherfucker a fascist in terms of just talking about Donald Trump. You can call him a wannabe God Emperor King. Either way, none of this shit feels good, and that's what it looks like we are getting ourselves back into. Because I do think he's going, if he does win, whatever, it kind of looks like it, but we'll see. He's going to have a well-oiled machine now. It's going to be less friction if he does win. You know what I mean? You're going to have a more compliant Congress. You are going to have less stops, less levers of power against you, because you'll immediately fire those people and replace them with yes men or women. And they're just going to do what you say. Most likely it's going to be a much cleaner, smoother run. I'm not saying that in a positive way for Donald Trump if he does win and does get into power again. But that's just, that's where we're at with it. I guess I should get back to this article. I just really wanted to say all that out loud and kind of put that in my fucking digital soul, Karen, that is this podcast. It bothers me though. It always will, how this shit is shaking out. And once again, that people will always think of Elon Musk as some kind of fucking genius and Donald Trump like he's some kind of fucking great businessman. These are both fucking born losers. The only thing that's different is that they have generational wealth buoying their ass up. And so they get to rise because they get lucky and lucky and lucky and lucky after they keep failing and failing and failing and failing. And with Elon Musk, he literally gets fucking propped up by the goddamn government. That's why he loved liberals up to a fucking point. And then he finally put that shit down and said, oh, I need to fucking work with conservatives because I can actually work the narrative better for myself that way now. But anyway, once again, back to his money, which here's my correction. I think I've said that the money he was giving out wasn't real. No, the money does seem to be real. Yeah, you're doing the big checks and all that, but it does seem to be real as of so far. It's just the idea that this is a sweepstakes or that this is a kind of lottery. No, it's not. That it is. They're coming out and saying, no, we're picking these people. Now, I don't know if you're saying that these people are now actors now, and now they're being paid to be the way that I don't know. This is confusing to me. Needless to say, Elon Musk himself didn't show up here. It was just his lawyer doing all the defense here, and that's part of the course. I'll definitely try to keep you guys posted on any updates here if there are any. But yeah, it's weird. It's strange that like you can sway the election the way that Elon Musk has. And I'm not saying that he's any different than any other motherfucker with money or, any kind of social collateral or influence. But it's just crazy how much power and like daily like influence that he's just allowed to have and just run rampant with. You would think it's illegal, but you go through so many political things, you go and look it up legally. It's almost like surprising what's legal. Like it's kind of almost like, I don't want to say anything goes. There definitely are rules and parameters, but like there's also easy ways to like get around them. Like that's why like super PACs and shit like that are a fucking thing. But let's not get, any more down the rabbit hole than we are. I'm going to call it an episode there. I'm sure I've gone longer than I wanted to. Yeah, a little bit. But, I yapped it out. Oh, this feels good. Obviously, we will have a part 2 on the election watch. Hopefully I will have more concrete results come to you next episode. So, stay tuned and whatnot. But if you'd like to help out the effort, patreon.com/IsaiahNews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Really helps out a lot. Leave a like, leave a comment. Sharing is caring. Feel free to do that on any of the platforms that you're listening on. And thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.